Hi, I'm Bree Stock, the first female master of wine in the Pacific Northwest, and I wanted to dive into today something that's very close to my heart is how do we see more women advancing into roles and positions of leadership and head positions in our industry. Did you know that women make up nearly 60% of wine consumers in the US? And did you also know that women and men entered enology and viticulture programs in equal numbers? However, the wine industry is much more dominated by men in leadership roles than women. When you consider that the men and women that enter into enology and viticulture programs are entering at equal numbers, whether you're considering it from UC Davis numbers, California, Fresno State University numbers, Cornell numbers, University of Santa Clara numbers, these are very consistent, not only in the US, but around the world. Women are graduating at the same pace in equal numbers as men in enology and viticulture programs. However, when we start to look at the leadership roles for women in the wine industry, the number is disproportionate. So for example, in California, we see roughly only 14 or 15% of women accelerating to head winemaker or leadership positions in the California industry. The number's slightly higher in Oregon, and in other regions around the world, it tends to drop back to that 15%. So how are we losing that on-ramp or the pipeline for women into leadership positions? Natural tendency for us to understand that women are maybe leaving the industry for family reasons and to have children. However, how can we as business owners and as industry leaders make sure that the on-ramp and returnship for women to come back into the industry and still achieve and accelerate to higher positions is still a viable option for them? There's other problem is that there's also the gender wage gap. The women in leadership positions are still paid roughly 68 to 78 cents on the dollar as compared to men in the same positions. So this also, for partners who are both in the wine industry, this makes it a natural choice for the male to continue into those leadership positions. And from a consumer and from a business perspective, we have seen in recent studies in the Journal of Wine Research that women winemakers and viticulturists are much more likely to adopt sustainable and innovative vineyard and winemaking practices that protect not only the environment, but the health of their vineyard stewards and workers. And also in a recent 2023 Wine Market Council study, it found that more than 70% of millennials are more likely to select a wine made by a woman if they were aware of it. So how are we starting to communicate the importance of women in the industry and also providing an on-ramp to women-owned businesses, women winemakers who can own their own businesses and start their own labels?